Hey y'all, hey, it's Troyia Monay back to y'all with another video. Today's video is super exciting as always, you guys. In today's video, we are going to be doing a little chit chat. Get ready with me. Today is going to be pretty much like a mini content day for me. I have a bunch of content that I need to create for my boutique, and then I'm working on some special surprises, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So in today's video, we are going to be doing, like I said, a little chit chat. Get ready with me. I have been doing a lot of research, you guys. And when I say a lot of research, a lot. I have been doing so much planning when it comes to 2021 or 2022. And I've been doing a lot of planning when it comes to planning for Q1, you guys. So in the midst of doing all of those different forms of research, I thought it'd be super fun to come on here. Let me pull up my notes. And discuss some different things that I am seeing within the industry. 5 fashion brands that I think that we all as fashion entrepreneurs need to be going through and watching out for. A lot of these brands are even brands that I've taken, marketing strategies from. I've been inspired by a lot of these brands. So I thought it'd be really cool for us to kind of switch it up just a little bit and just do a video discussing like some industry market and competitor research of some brands that we actually need to be on the lookout for, because they are really taking the industry by storm. They are really thriving in their industries as a whole too. So I just thought that that would be something real cool to go through and do and discuss while I sit here and do my makeup. So I got my notes right here. Y'all know I always come prepared. Okay, we always gonna come prepared. Make sure we sharing all the good info with y'all as well. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. But before we do, make sure you guys rate, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys go through and turn on that notification bell, because next week's videos are going to be, you will be in for a treat. So just make sure you guys go through and stay tuned. All right, y'all. So the first brand that we are going to be mentioning is called Nicole Lynel. And if you have not been living under a rock, then you know exactly who Nicole Lynel is. She is, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right, she is a Black woman. She is a fashion entrepreneur, CEO. She's a creative director, influencer, so many different things, so many different titles. And she literally has one of my favorite brands right now. Her brand is definitely by far one of my favorite brands within the industry right now. And the reason why is I really love her marketing strategy. It's very unique. It's very different. It's almost kind of a strategy that I'm a little bit trying to implement within my brand as well. She is the face of her brand, similar to, a lot of you guys like you and I. And one of the marketing strategies that I really love that she kind of goes through and she follows is creating more of a fantasy when it comes to her marketing, you guys. She literally is so good at storytelling and making people feel as if they are like, how do I put it? Putting others in her shoes, putting her consumers in her shoes. And she does a fantastic job at this. So I just went through and put a note here. She's a prime example of people buying from people and people not buying from brands. She is literally the prime example of this. The prime example of a personable brand. I really love that about her marketing strategy, and I really love that about her brand as well, is that she doesn't really go through, you're not going to see models on her site. It's just always going to be her. And she's really good at storytelling. She's really good at creating a fantasy when it comes to her garments and her inventory pieces as well, you guys. Really great merge of lifestyle content within business content and fashion content, kind of all intertwined and all into one. One thing that I did notice, you guys, is that her inventory pieces aren't the most fashionable. Like, her pieces are really cute. It's definitely for a particular market. It's really for the girly girl, the girl who's out here really liking to wear the sparkly pieces, the pinks, the diamonds, the glitz, the glam. She has a very niche audience, I would go through and say. But I really love that about her brand, because it's really fit for someone in particular. That's where that target audience comes into play. Y'all know I was gonna mention that in this video as well. So I really love that about her brand as well. Is that she more so has a really dedicated, really niche market there too. Something that I really like about Nicole Lynel is how hard she works. She's very hardworking. And if you guys don't know, she just had one of her collections, or her manufactured and designed collection, Nicole Lynel, featured in select Nordstrom stores. So a Black woman is in Nordstrom, y'all. So make sure you go through and support her. So she is #1 on my brands, fashion brands to watch this season, y'all. definitely a woman to go through and watch. I feel like she has a lot of things up her sleeve. And I feel like she's definitely someone that we can go through and take advice from, and definitely inspiration from as well. Not necessarily her marketing strategies. I think that she is definitely a brand to watch when it comes to being inspired, and different things like that as well. All right, y'all, so the next brand, y'all already knew it was coming. I have her brand on now, and it is Skims. If you have not been living under a rock, then you know that Skims is pretty much, don't kill me if you don't agree with me, but Skims is pretty much the industry leader right now when it comes to loungewear, and also when it comes to intimates, you guys. Kim Kardashian, she killing it, okay? I am a Kim Kardashian stan. I love her. I think that she is definitely very, very creative when it comes to her marketing, whether she creates it herself or whether she has a team. They're doing a good job over there. So I would definitely say that Skims is a brand for us to go through and watch. Definitely an industry leader, like I said, when it comes to loungewear and when it comes to intimate wear. One thing that I really admire, that I really took it, you know, into consideration, or really did a lot of research on rather, was the Fendi and Skims partnership, y'all. She made $1 million in 1 minute partnering with Fendi, and I just really, really admire that partnership, just because it really positioned Skims as a luxury loungewear and intimates brand, because she literally could have partnered with anyone. So it further positioned her as a luxury style brand. So we all knew that Skims went through and existed, but people kind of more so, I feel like, put it in that attainable category where it wasn't super luxurious, but it also wasn't cheap and affordable either. It was more so right there in between. But now her partnering with Fendi just further puts her in that luxury category, which I think is probably going to mean an increase in prices. Also, I think that it was a really, really great partnership, just for the simple fact that it really just set her aside. I mean, like I said earlier, she can go through and she could have partnered with almost any brand. She could have gone through and partnered with H&M, for God's sake, and that would have further positioned her as a more affordable style brand. But her partnering with Fendi just more so categorized her in her brand as more so of a luxury style brand. So I think that that partnership was absolutely genius. I love the compatibility between the partnership. It was something that a lot of people wasn't really expecting. I feel like Fendi is more so of that, you know, more luxury style brands that's kind of like quiet. So for them to kind of go through and just like pop out with Skims was really, 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 really genius. And it also, like I said, it positioned her as more so of a luxury style brand. The price ranges of that collection were really, really high. So I think the starting price range was around $100, and then the highest price range of the collection or item in the collection was like $4,000 something. So really, really dope partnership that she did there. Another cool partnership that she did too was with the Olympics. So something that really set Skims aside rather was that she was the Olympics' first undergarment partnership. The Olympics has never partnered with another brand for undergarments. Usually the brands that they partner with to provide garments for the athletes is usually provided by brands like Ralph Lauren, or it's usually provided by brands like Nike, Reebok, different things like that. Usually athletic wear brands or a little bit more higher end brands. So to see her go through, and she's still a newer company. Like Skims has not been around, I want to say, at least for like 5 years or so. It hasn't been around that long. So for her to come out and just like, you know, take over that entire industry as a whole, I think that that is super, super cool. And I think that she's definitely a brand that we need to go through and watch out for. Another thing that I want to also talk about is the diversity of her garments. I feel like in this day and age, a lot of brands are starting to become a lot more body conscious and really providing different garments for, you know, all shapes and sizes, all different colors. So she does provide a large range of color options in shades of nude, skin tone shades, and then she also provides a really, really hefty amount of products in different sizes. I want to say the smallest size is like an extra small, and then the largest size that she has is, I want to say, like a 5X, which is really, really dope for her to go through and include that and still be such a newer brand. I wouldn't say she's smaller because she's definitely not smaller. I really just dipped my beauty blender in my bronzer. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. That was not supposed to happen. So I definitely say that Skims is number 2 on my list for brands that we all need to go through and watch in the year 2022. Period. About to do it again. The next brand, y'all already know I'm going to go through and mention this brand. This brand literally took over the year 2021. Telfar. Telfar literally took over the year 2021. Took it over. Like, everybody and their mama was looking to get a Telfar bag. Everybody and their mama at this point already kind of has a Telfar bag. Telfar is definitely one of the brands we need to go through and watch this season, y'all. 100%. One thing I really love about Telfar and their marketing strategy that I took and implemented within my own business was to be really collection focused. Extremely collection focused, extremely new arrivals and release focused. I think that Telfar does an amazing job with their marketing strategy just because it's almost as if it's a sneaker release. You guys remember how back in the days we used to stand outside of lines to get our sneakers? They don't do that anymore, but I think that is super cool how they are really released in collection-based focus. I love the fact that you can't just go on the Telfar site and just grab an item. I love that for them, and I think that that's a strategy that is working 100% in their favor, for sure. Woo! Powder. So Telfar is definitely a brand I think that we need to go through and watch. They're implementing a lot of different unique marketing strategies into their business, such as I think they just released some NFTs. So if you guys don't know what NFTs are basically like digital art pieces. So I think that that's so cool that they went through and implemented that within their brand, because usually you don't see fashion brands implementing things as far as tech is concerned. So I think that that's super cool that they went through and implemented that. Also, another thing that I like about Telfar is their bag security program, where you can go through and secure your bag and as far as a pre-order system instead of going through and waiting for the actual release. I think that that is genius. The reason why I think that that bag security program is so genius that Telfar has is because it really gives them free data. It gives them so much free data, so much great insight as to see, you know, what bag is the most sought after. In my opinion, I feel like the strategy that they're using implemented into that bag security program is they're taking that data into consideration. So if thousands of people order the mini black bag, they're probably not going to go through and release that mini black bag to keep people on their toes through every single release. We know when Telfar does release bags, they usually only give you like a 2 to 3 day notice before the bag is actually available on their actual site. So I think that that's something super cool that they go through and offer, is that bag security program. Like I said, it just gives them so much free data to figure out what bags are most popular, what bags are least popular, which ones should we go through and have for sale, you know, as a release, or which one should we go through and just never have for sale as a release if it's something that we want to keep our audience on their toes about. So I think that Telfar is definitely really stepping up their game when it comes to the fashion industry and really just creating a lane for themselves. I think that is super dope that they're going through and doing that. Another thing that I thought was really genius of them too was to implement Telfar TV. So if you guys don't know, Telfar does have their own like little TV network. I want to say that it's on Apple TV and it's on Roku. So it's basically their own little TV network where they just go through and just do like little episodes of things. I've never personally watched it, but I think they do like little episodes or series of different things. And then they also release bags only for people who have or are subscribed to the Telfar TV station. I think that that's so dope, so unique. A lot of brands would probably not even to think about doing anything like that. I thought that that was super unique and super genius of them to go through and offer that as well. So yeah, Telfar. That is our third brand that we need to be watching out for, because they are doing some crazy dope things over there. After that is going to be Abercrombie and Fitch. Now, this one means a lot to me because I've seen the elevation of Abercrombie and Fitch. If you guys don't know, I used to work at Hollister. That was my first job, and I worked there for about 4 years, you guys. I worked at Hollister. I want to say I started working there at the end of 8th grade or early 9th grade, all the way up into my senior year of high school. So I worked there for a really long time. I learned a lot about retail there too. So they're definitely a brand that we want to go through and watch out for this season, because the Abercrombie & Fitch, Gilly Hicks, Hollister rebrand literally was amazing, and it really just went through and positioned them as, you know, a leader within the industry again. We know that they all kind of died off, especially brands like Aeropostale. A lot of those brands kind of died off because the, you know, generations that were wearing those brands started to get into more other types of clothing, started to get into more fast fashion and athleisure and loungewear pieces, and they weren't necessarily trying to have Hollister and Abercrombie & Fitch plastered on every single garment. We know when we go into stores like that back in the day, how they used to have tens of thousands of shirts that all said Hollister on it, all said Abercrombie on it, and different things like that. So recently, I want to say, was it yesterday? Yesterday, actually, I went into Abercrombie because I seen a lot of people talking about it on TikTok, actually, and I was like, let me go in here. I was already in the mall, so let me go in here and see what is all the talk about. What is everybody talking about with this Abercrombie & Fitch rebrand? So y'all, I went in there and I was like, yeah, they did what they needed to do with this rebrand. So it's a lot more trendy. You're gonna find a lot more fast fashion styles, but more so styles that are of a higher quality. You're gonna find that inside of Abercrombie & Fitch now. Also, I remember when I worked at Hollister. If you guys don't know, Hollister, Abercrombie, and Gilly. My camera cut off. How rude. If you guys don't know, Abercrombie & Fitch, Abercrombie Kids, Hollister, Gilly Hicks, and I want to say a couple other brands, they're all pretty much like sister brands. So I just thought that that was like really, really cool and really interesting that they went through and did that. They're just doing a lot more less branding, a lot more trendier and unique styles. And like I said, it's to get those people that shop, or the consumers that shop with them years and years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, to come back and be a part of the rebrand, to just kind of, it's like almost like a reunion style strategy I feel like they're doing now. So the lights are a lot lighter, a lot brighter rather. Y'all know when you used to go into stores like that, the music would be crazy loud. It would almost be as if it was like a beach club. And that was almost like their strategy that they had back then as well. So going in there most recently, I would say that the lights are a lot brighter. The clothing is a lot trendier. The staff isn't as bougie, I would say. And it's just like almost like a really, really cool shopping experience compared to the one that you had probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So their rebrand, I would go through and do some research on it. I think that it was really smart for them to go through and do that. To just re-cater to the same audience that they had before they lost that audience. So they're really going after, you know, the audience that has like body positivity, that's talking about body positivity. They're really going after that Gen Z millennial brand or market, I would say. So really, really cool to see them go through and rebrand. So I think that's definitely a brand that we need to go through and watch this upcoming year, this upcoming season. Definitely Abercrombie & Fitch. So that is our 4th brand. Abercrombie & Fitch. Last but not least, a brand that I think that we need to watch this season is going to be Louis Vuitton, you guys. I think Louis Vuitton is such a dope brand. That is my favorite designer brand. I love me some Louis Vuitton. I just love how simplistic it is and so how classic and edgy it is all into one. It's like it's flashy, but it doesn't give you too flashy. I love me some Louis Vuitton, y'all. So the reason why this is on the list as a brand that we need to go through and watch this season, what is in my eyebrow, is with the death of Virgil. If you guys don't know who Virgil is, he is one of the fashion designers for Louis Vuitton. I believe he is the designer of the men's collection for Louis Vuitton. With his death, and you know, the passing of him, I think a lot of people are wondering right now, like, who's gonna take Virgil's spot? You know, he's an incredible designer. He's designed for a lot of big fashion houses out there. So I think that it's really going to be really interesting to see who takes his place in the direction that Louis Vuitton takes after. A lot of people have been talking about Kanye West potentially being the designer of that. So I think that that'll be something really cool for us to go through and watch. Just because we all know that Kanye West has a really intricate, unique type of style in a way that he designs his pieces. So I think that it would be really, really interesting to see, you know, the direction that he takes Louis Vuitton in if he is, you know, granted that position. The reason why I also wanted to go through and add Louis Vuitton here is because if you guys don't know it or not, these larger fashion houses such as the Louis Vuittons, the Gucci's, the Fendi's, the Prada's, like those larger fashion houses and larger luxury style designer brands, they're the ones that make the trends, you guys. So everyone else kind of goes through and follows suit. So if you guys have never seen some of your favorite wholesale vendors selling, you know, designer inspired pieces, even though they aren't replicas, they're just designer inspired, it is because these larger brands are the ones that usually sets the trends. Celebrities also set the trends because celebrities are the ones who are usually wearing the styles of these larger fashion brands, you guys. So I think that that's definitely something we need to go through and just watch out for, is looking at a lot of these larger style brands, not even just Louis Vuitton, but looking at the Pradas, looking at the Gucci's, looking at the Fendi's, looking at a lot of those larger brands, because like I said earlier, they set the trends. So I think it's important to follow them on socials, follow the celebrities who are wearing those brands as well, just to make sure that you're staying inspired. They are the ones who usually set the trends, like I said. So if you are a business or fashion business who is looking to just be really, really trendy, I think that that is something that you want to go through and do when it comes to your market and industry research. So that is pretty much all I have for y'all. I just finished my face. My eyebrows are done. I'm going to just add myself a little lip and we are good to go. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys go out there and do some industry, market, competitor research. Get yourself educated as to the other brands, larger indirect competitors out there that you might want to go through and take advice from, or go through and, you know, see what type of marketing strategies that you want to go through and implement into your business. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.